I kind of got lost and found a little bit on this whole touch idea. I did a YouTube live, and I think it might have just gone into the ether and disappeared because I don't think it got saved. Talking about finding something different, just got encouraged to try something very different. I called it a different kind of Travis, and the point was to kind of experiment with the touch major plot. Well, imagining just a different kind of Travis. And I've kind of found something, I think, that I really like. And I kind of think maybe I'm writing something completely different. Other than that, maybe the plot kind of still there. Maybe it won't be, I don't know, but it's a lot more alive than what I've done in the past. It's a lot more based on me as a kid, which I think is because I'm writing what I know. Anywho, I haven't been posting much, and I guess in the spirit of this being more of like a journal, go back and see what I've learned. I feel like the learning process is perhaps, I wouldn't say it's slowed down, but it's just at a place where maybe it doesn't feel necessary to say as much as often because I don't know, I'm just kind of digging in and experiencing it, and maybe the learning's more subtle and nuanced. I don't know. I feel like what I'm writing now, even without any kind of editing or worrying about structure or anything like that, which is great stuff, I guess, just feels alive, and I love that, and I hope I can keep it going. Um, Something I've learned. Um, if it feels like crap, it probably is. If other people read it and tell you it's 40% fluff, it's crap. Um, don't try to make a show out of an episode. Yeah, I don't know. Those are probably all rules to be broken. I think that maybe what I've learned isn't so much a general rule for everybody, but for me, I think really feeling what I'm writing is a good sign. And if I don't feel it, maybe I'm writing the wrong thing. Oh, I got one. Here's one. I find myself as I'm writing that I kind of like write a scene, and then I'll think, ooh, I want them to end up in this next place doing this next thing, and I'll find myself tempted to kind of just like write the whole sequence of events that lead them from that first scene to the next one. And it's so boring. Like, nobody cares. Everybody knows that you get up out of the chair and walk across the room to sit in a different chair. You don't need to tell that story again and again and again. But for whatever reason, my programmer head, my logical mind, I always find myself wanting to do that. Um, don't. I guess the whole enter late, leave early, something I was recently told, really resonates there. Definitely skip it. Start too late. It's better than starting too early. The other thing, though, is I think that when I get stuck and I'm like, I really don't know where to go next. I don't know how to, like I kind of had this first act thing going on, and I was like, okay, I kind of need this to move to the next act somehow, and I don't know how, and I'm kind of still in that place. But every time I've gotten stuck, when I recognize that I'm stuck, and I tell myself, you know what? To heck with whatever you want to accomplish. Just write something fun and interesting to you. Um, and an example might be I'm writing a scene with Travis, and he's doing this thing by himself in his room, building a radio in this case, and this isn't actually something that I wrote. This is just an example of how it might go. And I'm like, at some point, somehow I need him to like do something moving towards trying to save the world. How do I help him realize that? And instead of trying to figure all that out right now, just do something else. So I wrote a scene of him making black powder. That's from my own life. It's something I did when I was a kid. And an accident that happened actually from my life where spark flies out from a test sample and it hits the cookie sheet, and it all goes a big disaster. It was a fun thing to write. And I'm not saying that it ultimately ends up being the right thing to do, but it keeps me writing. And I I feel really confident that if I end up with 400 pages of material and want to distill it down into a 90-minute movie, I can do that. I'd rather have too much good stuff to pick from than too little. And if you can figure out the beginning and the end of a thing and actually have it written, it's a lot easier to figure out the middle, I think. Anyway, I'm still figuring it out. I don't know what my posting schedule is going to be if you're following. I'm not making promises. Maybe I'm doing that very in general right now, just making space to explore and let this be a personal learning experience. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching me. Bootstrap Cinema makes it so cool when it has a name, doesn't it? Still don't know what I'm doing, but I'm having fun. Ciao.